Powell, he's going to say a few words, and then he's going to lead us in our invocation. Then we have special guests tonight that's going to lead us in our pledge, and we'll introduce them at a little later time. Mr. Powell.
I'm going to address a problem we've been addressing for a long time. I told Keith I'd like to say a few words. We can see them today. We ain't got the windshield up here. We ain't got the sound barrier up here. And I'm glad to see it once and for all. They can put it back if they want to when they use it, but I'd like to have it down from here on at any commission meeting so we can communicate. Let us pray. Our gracious Heavenly Father, as we come before thee tonight, we thank you for today. We thank you for the coming week. Lead, guide, and direct us as we go about doing your business here on earth. Be with each commissioner here to make the right decision in everything that comes up. We ask, Lord, that you be with those that are sick, downtrodden, need thy helping hand to make them whole again. These things we ask in thy humble Son's name. Amen.
Amen. Remain standing. We have our future leaders with us today. We're all glad to see them smiling and up front. We're going to ask that they lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Sheldon, do you want to introduce these young people while we're attentive?
The group that is here tonight is our youth leadership class. We have a class of about 30. I think about 20 of them is here with us tonight. It's a group of sophomores, juniors, and seniors from the Sequatchie County High School. And it is a program that we conduct through our 4-H program to learn leadership skills and to learn about the community. So in the rain back in December, we came to the courthouse and visited all the courthouse offices. And tonight it's the county commission meeting. Then we're looking at visiting with businesses in town next month in February. And working on our march with emergency services is a possible plan. We've got a plan to hopefully get to go to Nashville then later this spring, get that worked out. So it's all government and leadership is our focus.
Young leaders, you will be running this show one day. Ask questions, comment. We need your input. So get to know your commissioners, your county attorneys, different folks. Ask questions. That's how you learn. So we appreciate you being here. Does anybody want to say anything from this splendid group?
We appreciate being here. We appreciate being here.
Well, you are so welcome. Let's give a hand to these young ladies.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not one of the young people. What y'all laughing?
No.
Could we take one moment and sing happy birthday to Charlotte and Keith?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Okay, Chester, go.
You have to speak up.
Listen, I've got nobody seconding that motion.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Charlotte. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
I would be remiss. It's also my anniversary with Nisha, and I appreciate.
She don't want to be reminded of that.
Anyway, thank you, guys. Okay, let's move right into it. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Now we know who's oldest around here. Travis Fawcett, Chester Shell,
Yes.
Brian Ruling, Blaine Lane,
Yes.
James Freeland,
Here.
Brian Walker,
Here.
Joel Stotson,
Here.
Ed Nunley,
Here.
Jeff Barger,
Here.
Paul Powell,
Here.
Michael Hudson,
Here.
Gene Dishman, Frank Silver,
Here.
Susie Bostic,
Here.
Wayne Clemens,
Here.
Tommy Johnson,
Here.
Tom De Niro,
Here.
and Jeff Mackey.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Thank you, Madam Clerk. In your packets, Commissioners, you should have received the minutes from the November 21st, 2023 meeting. I'll entertain a motion. There's special language in those on a correction. I will note in the September 19th meeting, so I hope all of you guys have noticed that. But I'll entertain a motion to approve said minutes.
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Mackey and a second from Mr. Powell. Do I hear any corrections, additions, deletions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, hearing none, said minutes hereby passed. Making part of the minutes, I will make the trustee report that is in front of you as part of the minutes from trustee Lockhart. The sheriff is also going to give his reports. We'll make those as part of the minutes as well. So as we're speaking of you, our splendid sheriff, come forward, please, and give your report.
So those reports are just reports that we put together to keep stats. A lot of those you won't care about, but it's just things that we need for what we do back at the office. So the information is there in case you need it. There's no reason, I don't think, for us to go through each line, and unless you have some questions about any of those, which I'll be glad to address. And then we also have another report that should be accompanying that by the next meeting. We're still working on the process in which we will be gathering all those numbers, and that'll be like things like how many search warrants and how many arrests and how many of this and that. So those we should have available by the next meeting, we're hoping. I mentioned in the last meeting that we were preparing at that time for an inspection from the state on December 1st with our jail. I'm sure you've seen since then that we did in fact have that inspection and we passed. That made us, I've heard two things. I've heard one of 5 jails in the state to be a Tier 1 accredited jail, and I've heard one of 3 jails in the state. So either one is good. I'll take 5. But we have achieved that accreditation. It's pretty awesome to say that Sequatchie County has one of 5 jails in the state that's accredited. So with that said, we are concerned with our overcrowding issue, and that's something that the county executive and I have discussed, and I think we're going to have some real conversation about what we're going to have to do there. The numbers are consistently staying higher than what we are built to hold there. So the accreditation, the numbers, we normally try to keep about 30 state inmates on average. When I say state inmates, basically all of our inmates are state inmates, but 30 that qualify for payment from the state. That averages out to somewhere around $800,000 a year that comes in from the state. Now with this accreditation, that number goes up $3 a day per inmate. So that number should increase around $32,000 or $33,000 a year. There is a Tier 2 to that accreditation, but we're not really sold yet that to get that, we're going to have to do things that are going to cost us more money daily to operate, and we're not sure that it's really going to pay to go to that step just yet. So that's something we're just thinking about, and it's on hold for now. So that's pretty much everything on the jail. The department is, everybody's doing well. We're doing pretty good with our manpower. Thank you, Mr. Executive, for the increase in the pay for the jail. We kept losing people there mainly because of pay, and we were not getting very many applications. We now are up to just about full again there, and we have actually a couple extra applications. So that was a big move. Without that, I think we would really be hurting. So that's pretty much everything I can think of on the jail. We met with, thanks to the city mayor, we met with some people on Whipple Mountain a couple of weeks ago who have a nonprofit organization there. It's a canine related organization, and they have offered to assist us in our plan to obtain a drug dog. I mentioned in the last meeting that we're very active with our bust and our search warrants and our stops and all those things, but these little pills are sometimes very difficult to find with just a human eye and what we have. So a dog, I believe, is very, very crucial to what we're doing there. We're basically, I know, leaving poison behind, not having that to help find the rest of the stuff that we're leaving behind. So that's one thing that we've been looking at. We went and met with these people a couple of weeks ago, and they are actually, they have talked to the people that they deal with who breed these dogs. We're looking at a dog that would be a dual purpose dog, so it would be primarily a narcotics dog, and it also would be a non-aggressive tracking dog, so that if we have a missing person somewhere in the county, we can go out and get a scent and try to find someone. So that's an exciting thing for us. I think it is very crucial, and these people are actually offering to pay for the dog and the training for us. So it's a win-win situation. That's why we asked for the money from the grant to go toward an interdiction vehicle, because that's the vehicle we would put the dog in with a new handle. So that's kind of the big things that we have going on. Everything's been really, really active. I don't know what you've seen on Facebook or in the news, but you know, there are a lot of drug busts. There was another one today that we were glad to be able to work with the city and the drug task force on, and it's just continuing.
Any questions for the sheriff?
Yes, sir.
You got somebody that will voluntarily take this dog because they have to live with it.
Yes, we do have people who, and what we'll do is we will let them apply for that position, and then the people from the canine organization are actually going to help us choose which handler would be best for this dog.
I know it rides in the car with you, but you gotta have to take it home. You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
have to play with it.
Yeah.
You gotta feed it, you gotta do it. You gotta babysit it.
That's right.
While it's done its job.
Yeah.
Just a comment, I appreciate the positive spin on the news over the past week. It's good to know that we're not laying down and letting these drugs take our children, and I appreciate the efforts and the positive spin that you bring to our sheriff's department. So,
Well, thank
appreciate
you. We're excited about what our men and women at the department are doing, and what our partners at Dunlap PD and the Drug Task Force and other agencies are doing as well. These drugs don't care about county lines, so it's important that we team up and do what has to be done there.
thank you, Sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Soraya, I see you coming forward tonight for the school system.
I love having our students here. I'm so glad they're here. Ms. Sherry has passed out our budget for you so you can see our revenue and expenditures. Either one of us are happy to answer questions. I'd love to just give a very brief update on the school system. I just thank you all. It's such a spirit of cooperation in this community, and I'm so thankful. I think every single agency in here has been cooperative with the school system, and I thank you for that. It really, really does take us all. A couple of updates and things that we're working on that you'll hear about and see in the upcoming press. First of all, high school renovation. We're using some ESSER money, that's federal COVID dollars. We've partnered with Cope Architect out of Knoxville. This renovation will be pretty significant. It'll take 12 to 14 months to complete. We will be replacing the old boiler system. So finally, we'll be able to go from hot to cold. Won't that be good? We're going to reconfigure the main entrance and increase security there. We're going to upgrade the lighting. The architect firm will start bids in March. We hope to start work on the project in May. Again, 12 to 14 months is what they tell me for the timeline. Earlier, we heard the clerk talk about one-time bonuses. I'm proud to report that our school board has approved some one-time bonuses for some of our employees. It's been a priority for us to acknowledge and appreciate and honor those who've been in the industry for a long, long time. You think the past 2 years have been hard? We have employees who've been there 25 years. We have employees who've been there more than 51 years. That's a lifetime. And so our school board has approved a one-time longevity bonus on a sliding scale. Starting at 25 years, those folks will get $1,000 up to $2,500. That'll be one-time, non-recurring bonus to appreciate their longevity. They've been with us and pouring into kids for a long, long time. Right now, that will recognize 38 employees at a total of $45,800. We're still finalizing those numbers. We want to make sure that we're not missing anybody before we put that in payroll next month. I have some really exciting news to share with you. We've recently announced our Teacher of the Year and Supervisors of the Year, and they are from our elementary school, Miss Jessica Barker, from the middle school, Miss Kim McLaughlin, from the high school, Alyssa Mullins. She happens to be in the room with us right now. And our Supervisor of the Year, Robbie Somerville. A lot of really good things. I'm so proud of our teachers. This community matters. The work that we do every single day for these young people matters, and I'm proud to be part of it. Questions for me?
You did a thorough job. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So right. Okay, up next we have Eric with the Highway Department, and I'm going to ask Eric, that chairman of our road committee, Tommy Johnson, we go ahead and segue and take care of some items during this session. So if you both would present, I would appreciate it. We have some action that we need to take on some county roads. January is County Road Month.
Did you report?
I'm going to do this first off.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to just, well, first of all, I'm going to ask Mr. Mayor, how can I get in on that tennis court action? That's about 15% of my whole budget.
You'll be the 5th person playing tennis.
Oh. But anyhow, I've got up at the top there, our revenues for the past 3 months, to give you a snapshot. 1 month's down, 2 are up a little, it's still down a little overall. You can look at our work activities. We've done some guardrail, done a lot of clearing and getting roads ready that we're going to try to pave this year. We've made, my balance sheet is in attachment B. I made a change to our procedures and policies. It's in the back. And then the rest of it is the roads that we talked about in the committee meeting, which is Greenbrier Lane and Old Anderson Pike. And so with that.
All right, so we know every January the road committee meets to either accept or deny or take off roads within our county. So we did have a couple of roads tonight that we need to discuss. The first being Greenbrier Lane on Lewis Chapel. This is a 6/10 of a mile road. It is a tar and chip construction road. It has been, the paperwork was documented and turned into Eric's office prior to a year ago per the road rules. Eric has watched this road for the past year. It is still holding up.
A few potholes, but that's expected.
So it is comes on behalf of the road committee as a motion to accept Greenbrier Lane as a county road.
You've heard the motion. Do I hear a second? I've got a motion, a second from Mr. Shell. Any questions? Any comments? Hearing none, because it could exceed $5,000 in repair. Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
Chester Shell,
Yes.
Brian Lane,
Yes.
James Breland,
Yes.
Brian Walker,
Yes.
Joyce Dotson,
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barger.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
June Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic.
Yes.
Wayne Clemmons.
Yes.
Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
Tommy Nero.
Yes.
and Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Okay, motion hereby passes. Mr. Chairman?
The next road under consideration is Old Anderson Road, which is in the 8th District on Signal Mountain. This is a 1,000-foot section of road that is in disrepair as of today. This road had come up several times to be accepted, and in the last couple of days, Mr. Ray Johnson, former superintendent of the Highway Department, was able to sign an affidavit to declare that the county had done work on this road in the past. In minutes dated 1984, also the county commission at that point said that they would make sure that all roads currently on the road list and or maintained in prior years would be maintained here on out. So the budget committee, the road committee has made a recommendation. Due to myself owning property on this road, I will not make that recommendation. I will recuse myself. Mr. Silvers, please.
After some discussion in that particular meeting, for which I'm a member of, I would like to make a motion that we accept the Old Anderson Road.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a second from Mr. Venero. Any discussion? I know we may have another commissioner that has to opt out of this, but he'll do that as we call the roll. Any other questions relative to this road?
Whereabouts is this located at, Tommy?
So this Old Anderson Road is what we used to call Double Bridges Road, Paul. Goes off of Hall Road. The intent of this motion is to simply go in, not widen it, but to grade it and put gravel on it and eventually put tar and chip. Is that correct?
That's correct, and I've got to cut the brush back. It's grown up like pretty much most of our roads around here. We've been cutting back.
But there's how many houses on it, Tom?
It's four.
Four.
4 houses.
Any other questions or comments? So, hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Chester Shell.
Yes.
Blaine Lane.
Yes.
James Breland.
Yes.
Brian Walker.
Yes.
Joyce Dodson.
Yes.
Ed Nunley.
Yes.
Jeff Barger.
Yes.
Paul Powell.
Yes.
Michael Hudson.
Yes.
June Dishman.
Yes.
Frank Silver.
Yes.
Susie Bostic.
Yes.
Wayne Clemmons.
Recuse myself as a property owner.
Okay. Tommy Johnson.
I also recuse myself as a property
Okay.
owner.
Tommy Nero.
Yes.
and Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Okay, Old Anderson Road hereby passes. Anything else?
No. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Eric. Okay, moving forward over to Ag. Sheldon, anything with Ag?
I left a printed copy of our report with the commissioners, and that's all that I have.
We have Casa in the house. Anything to say from you? I know we talked about this the other night, but...
No, I just want to tell everybody thank you for all of the support that you provide to the CASA program. It's greatly appreciated. We're looking forward to 60th Rodeo this year. And again, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. We have our Miss Library in the house. While you're sitting there next to it.
I presented a printed copy of this year's numbers for the library, and good news, we just received a $10,000 grant to replace all employees' computers and the patrons' computers, 5 scanners, a laptop, and we are gearing up for a great summer reading program. Our goal is to serve 350 children a week this year.
Thank you. Janice with the change. Going down the list.
No, I'm making my list. Guys, I need to tell you thank you so much because of your contribution and the city's contribution. We're doing great things for you, and I need to say to you that tourism is economic development. So we're really working on tourism. We've had a tourism roadmap session, and through that we have a tourism committee that the chamber board has designated, and some of you may be asked to be on that. We oversaw Oktoberfest, in which we made like $10,000 for Thrive Sequatchie. Thrive Sequatchie will put that money back into, and we worked with Mayor Huth on maybe doing something on Walnut Street to make it like an event venue, running into Harris Park. The Songwriter Festival, we hosted that, but we kind of broke even on that. But what that did for us with the state is that on February the 3rd, I think it is, or the 4th, we're going to host a qualifying event for the Tennessee Songwriter of the Year at the Mercantile, which is really an opportunity. We do the monthly cruise-ins starting in April, from April to October. Some of you have been there, which I really appreciate you coming. Throughout the valley, and John Harmon has all of these numbers, from Marion County up and down the National Scenic Byway, there's been like $900,000 spent in each of the, not in each, in those 4 counties in a year, which is, I think is wonderful. We received a TVA grant to clean out Coops Creek. So on April the 29th, each of y'all will get a email to come in your skivvies and help clean out the creek. Thank you so much for all you do for us.
Thank you, Janice. Pam, with the IDB, anything from you tonight?
No, I don't have anything to report, but I am excited about the zipper plant staying in the historical sense. I was worried about that, and I'm glad that you all made that recommendation and passed it. Also, I've had some people that's looking at the concrete pad up in the Sequatchie County Industrial Park. So we have 2 acres that we've peeled off from the other building that was sitting there at 543, and I've also got people that are interested in that. So hopefully we're going to have a great year, and I thank you for all your support.
Jim Patterson, the veteran, please, sir.
So each of you got a packet that deals with our performance in since the last meeting. You can see our numbers are doing pretty well. The word's getting out, and the office is really busy. We were like stacked 4 deep last week, actually. Okay. Also, what we've done, we finished the virtual access point that I talked about in the last meeting. It's operational. Just has to be added to the VA system. There's going to be an article published in the Dunlap Tribune that talks about our office, the introduction, and then every month there'll be something new that'll be in there related to Veterans Affairs. The first article will probably be about Agent Orange and the benefits a lot of people aren't even aware that they're entitled to. Also, I've been putting together these, looks like this, virtual signs, because people can just scan them with their phone. Gives them our information. We established a veteran suicide prevention group with the VA and the VFW and some other representatives. As you can see, our numbers have increased in the county, and we've currently got about 82 that are active as far as cases from our office. And you also got on the other page a packet that was designed for next month's meeting. My apologies to the commission for. And the only change to that will be, if there are any changes to that, other than the number of hours will be slightly less, I'll make sure you have them by the 10-day line. So, does anyone have any questions for me?
Thanks for all you do over there, Mr. Patterson.
Thank you. Jim's doing an excellent job, and our numbers are going up because of what he's doing, the job he's doing. I appreciate it, Jim. Okay, moving forward, Mr. Mackey, since you spoke, give us an EMA report, and I think you've got a resolution possibly to...
I do, indeed. Okay, Emergency Services Committee met this afternoon, 4 o'clock. We, amongst other things, we discussed the Sheriff's Department, their grant that they're looking to use for a vehicle. That we passed that on the budget, so I'll let Mr. Barger take care of that as it goes forward. The other thing that we discussed today was our participation in the school's career fair that is coming up on March 15th as a committee and working to outreach to maybe youth that might want to come into the emergency services industry, being through either law enforcement or into ambulance service. fire departments, things of that nature. So we have that coming up. And then the other thing that we needed to do today, and this is where we're going to get into a resolution that needs to be passed out. And in order to do this, we're going to need to do a 5-day waive on this. There is no money being spent.
5-day rule. I have a motion from Mr. Johnson, a second from Jimbo Breeden.
Okay, so
all
this
in favor
is.
say aye. All opposed, hearing none, said 5-day rule is hereby passed. Mr.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself. So this is in regards to the hazard mitigation plan that we're required to pass. This plan as to how we're going to spend FEMA money should we have a natural disaster, or FEMA money in preparation for a possible natural disaster in this county. So the highlights of the hazard mitigation, and you should have gotten a copy of this that was a pass around. If you haven't, please see Nisha. She's got a couple of extra copies of that as well. But the highlights of this is this plan is used to show our biggest natural disaster threats. And it is 96 pages. If you want a copy of it, Nisha will get you that as well. But it is 96 pages. This also helps to fund from the federal government in the event of a natural or man-made disaster. This helps in the planning of a response to a natural or man-made disaster. It also shows our more vulnerable areas from past history or weather events taking place. The plan has also benefited the county for all future planning in response to disasters, man-made or natural. And due to unfortunate circumstances over the past years, it took longer than expected to develop the 96-page plan for our county. Brian wrote this. So the final step before it can be submitted to FEMA's approval from the Commission is a resolution. The Tennessee Emergency Management Agency has been working diligently to assist in the completion of this plan before stricter guidelines and requirements are implemented. So basically, we had a deadline coming up. We need to go and get this thing passed and put forward. So the Emergency Services Committee sends us a recommendation that we pass this hazard mitigation plan.
That also comes in the form of a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
This will be under Resolution 782. I have a second. Any questions? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye on Resolution 782. All opposed, hearing none, said motion, Resolution 782 hereby passes.
Mr. Chairman, that's all I have for today. If anybody wants to help with the career fair with emergency services, by all means get with me and we will put you to work.
Thank you very much. Is anyone here with Puckett or nobody here with this? Okay, let's move forward. Mr. Pickett, I see you there with Valley Fest. We've got an event coming up.
We do, and several people in the audience is part of that committee, and they're working and meeting next week, I guess it is, for our work session. It is May 6 and 7. We would like to say that we have put a gravel base in for the walkway, and it's already being used. Probably our funds are not going to be sufficient to make that permanent, but it looks like we're going to have to do that. So that's something the budget committee we might want to talk to or start looking for a grant somewhere. It's about 3/4 of a mile. It's from the trestle all the way to Pine Street on the perimeter around the creek and all. And a lot of people seem to really like that. We will be preparing ourselves for the big event coming up, and we appreciate all the support that we get for that. And by the way, we did put in on the south end some split rail fencing to help with the aesthetics. Not only that, but from traffic control, we were having a little problem down there. So if you get a chance to drive down to the south end and check us out. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. I'm going to ask somebody tonight. We've got our illustrious City of Dunlap Mayor, Clint Huth, with us. Anything from you tonight, Clint?
I'm from the city and I'm here to help. Hold on to your wallet.
Okay, anything from legal, Miss Jennifer? Okay, I do want to recognize someone else. From our rescue squad, Michael Scoggins. Let me give you the brief scenario. I've been looking for a scissor lift. We've been having the bar Jeff Mackey's for the last 10 years. We're at the Lions Club Christmas basket giveaway with Janice this year with the Lions Club, and I noticed this scissor lift over in the corner, and it looks really good. I'm asking Scoggins, what's the deal with the scissor lift? He said, "You want it?" He said, "We never use it. It needs 4 batteries. If you'll keep it up," he said, "I think I can get gift it to you, calls a special call meeting, they award that to the county. It's better than I was looking to buy, free. So, Michael, thank you, and thank you to your board of directors for doing that. And we really appreciate it. We can use that in a lot of ways throughout the county. In the school system, Serrano's tired of us borrowing their scissor lift, and I know J-Mac is, so we appreciate that. And it's certainly something we need. Okay, I think I think I got everyone except for Chairman Berger with the Budget Committee. Mr. Powell, I skipped you, yes.
Well, you didn't skip me. I couldn't get your attention when you was going to Janice.
He is older today.
Now, what we passed out here tonight, I know the congregation here, or the audience, I'm used to speaking at church, but they handed out a flyer. Our new librarian is here tonight. If you get a chance, come get mine. I know what's on here. I've seen it. I know what they put on here. They asked me at the meeting the other night which way was the best way to communicate with the commission. I said, put a flyer in the lap. They said, well, that worked. I said, well, Sheldon Barker's been doing it for years, so it must work. And she handed it out tonight. This lady, next to Betty Worley, she'd walk on water. Go by and check her out.
Mr. Powell, you're a man of many words.
And a minute. Mr. Powell, thank you. Mr. Barker, come forward, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chairman, Commission, members in the audience. The Budget Committee did meet this evening, and we had a few items to pass on and move on to the Commission. But before I get into that, I do want to Keith touched on it in our Budget Committee, but just to keep everybody's in mind, this is January 2023, and the 2023 budget will be coming up sooner than you think. So the budget activities and meetings, I think March the 13th, somewhere in that neighborhood, is when we're going to pass out the budget request forms, and then in April there'll be some forms due back to the county executive office, and then in May we'll start doing the budget reviews. Just want to kind of mention that and keep that in front of everybody. Because as we know from recent times, all you got to do is look at the price of eggs. Everything's getting more expensive. So hopefully we won't bust our budget this year when we're putting it together. But anyway, the Budget Committee did meet this evening. Erlanger came, and some of you guys were here. They came and gave a presentation of what they're going. We took no action on that as of yet, but they kind of laid out what they want to do with the ER facilities and everything, and how to upgrade and get more services into the community. The first item that we did actually talk on, and I'm saying I guess we need full commission on this, but this came as a recommendation from the Budget Committee. It's the old zipper factory that was the RFP award. It was a motion from the Budget Committee to award the old zipper factory to the Louis Card and Becky Card bid of $120,000.
You've heard the motion. Do I hear a second? I've got a motion from Jimbo Breeden. Any discussion or questions? Because it exceeds $5,000, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chester Shell?
Yes.
Blaine Lane?
Yes.
James Breland?
Yes.
Brian Walker?
Yes.
Joyce Dotson?
Yes.
Ed Nunley?
Yes.
Jeff Barger?
Yes.
Paul Powell?
Yes.
Michael Hudson?
Yes.
Judy Dishman? Yes. Frank Silver?
Yes.
Susie Bostic?
Yes.
Wayne Clemens?
Yes.
Tommy Johnson?
Yes.
Tommy Nero?
Yes.
And Jeff Mackey?
Yes.
Okay, Louis and Becky Card are hereby awarded that winning bid. What's up next, Mr. Chairman?
All right, the next thing that came before the budget committee was we had a discussion. There was a couple. We'd made a motion or had a motion or a resolution or a motion last meeting on the acquisition of the Williams Road property. The appraisals come back, and we actually had two appraisals that was like right at the selling price number, and this came also as an motion from the budget committee to move forward and purchase this property for $260,000.
You've heard the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Blaine Lane. Sorry, Paul, we got you. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Chester Shell,
Yes.
Blaine Lane,
Yes.
James Freeland,
Yes.
Brian Walker,
Yes.
Joel Dodson,
Yes.
Ed Nunley,
Yes.
Jeff Barger,
Yes.
Paul Powell,
Yes.
Michael Hudson,
Yes.
June Dishman,
Yes.
Frank Silver,
Yes.
Susie Bostick,
Yes.
Wayne Clemens,
Yes.
Tommy Johnson,
Yes.
Tom Manero,
Yes.
and Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. The next item that the budget committee came out with or moved forward with, there was a recommendation from the EMA committee from the sheriff's department. There was, I guess, we need to waive the 5-day rule before we move forward on this one because this one
Entertain a
wasn't.
motion to waive the 5-day rule. Have a
So
motion,
moved.
Mr. Johnson. Hold the
Mr.
point of
Chair,
order.
I would make a motion to waive the 5-day rule on the next two items, so we don't have to do it twice.
Okay.
All right.
That's your motion to waive it on the next two items. Mr. Johnson, do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a second from J. Mac. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, hearing none, said 5-day rule waiver.
On the next two
Passes.
items. All right. All right, the first item was, this came as a recommendation from the EMA committee, which the budget committee now presents as a recommendation to the full commission. There's grant dollars of $62,833 in grant money that would go into drug fund 122 for the sheriff's department.
This is in and out money, just to be truth. We actually spend the money. It's a reimbursement grant, so that's what you're voting to do. We've got a motion from the budget committee. Do I hear a second? Got a second from Jim Bowbreeder. Any questions?
One comment while we got to, the sheriff kind of alluded to it. This is a vehicle, a platform for the drug task force and the drug dog. Am I right, Sheriff?
That's right.
And so that's what this grant is for.
I think actually that number is 62,883.
Yep, 62,883. Yep.
Got a motion and a second. Any other comments? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chester Shell,
Yes.
Blaine Lane,
Yes.
James Freeland,
Yes.
Brian Walker,
Yes.
Joel Dodson,
Yes.
Ed Nunley,
Yes.
Jeff Barger,
Yes.
Paul Powell,
Yes.
Michael Hudson,
Yes.
June Dishman,
Yes.
Frank Silver,
Yes.
Susan Bostick,
Yes.
Wayne Clemens,
Yes.
Tommy Johnson,
Yes.
Tom Manero,
Yes.
and Jeff Mackey.
Yes.
Okay, said motion hereby passes.
All right. And the next item, and this was the other one we've already waived the 5-day rule on, was that Ms. Charlotte Cagle brought forth a transfer of a sum total, after some discussion, wound up being $8,500. And this comes as a motion from the budget committee to execute this said transfer.
Just to remind you, these are restricted monies that she can use at her discretion with the blessing of the county legislative body. You've heard the motion. Do I hear a second? Got a second from Mr. Silver. It does exceed 5,000, so Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chester Shell,
Yes.
Blaine Lane,
Yes.
James Freeland,
Yes.
Brian Walker,
Yes.
Joel Dodson,
Yes.
Ed Nunley,
Yes.
Jeff Barger,
Yes.
Paul Powell,
Yes.
Michael Hudson,
Yes.
June Dishman,
Yes.
Frank Silver,
Yes.
Susan Bostick,
Yes.
Wayne Clemmons,
Yes.
Tommy Johnson,
Yes.
Tom Nero,
Yes.
Okay, said transfer hereby passes.
Yes.
Are you missing in your old age?
I am.
I can tell.
It's working
And
on
that,
me.
that, Mr. Chairman, I think is all the points that we had action on. The Budget Committee, I will kind of go over. The Budget Committee also talked about, well, it was discussion only, no action was taken. Sanitation trucks, compactors, containers, things like that. And the chair, Mr. Cartwright noted that 2 years ago, one of the roll-off trucks was 150, 170, and in today's dollars, he checked on prices. In today's dollars, that same truck is $290,000, and we took no action on that. But that's just some of the inflation that we've been talking about. We thought $5 a dozen eggs was bad, right? But also there was a discussion on the Griswold tennis court. There was a bid placed in. We took no action on it as well, of $300,000. But I think the school system is going to take care of that for us, right? That's right.
I think you're wrong.
But there was no action on that as well. And that's all the report from the Budget Committee, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Barker. We really appreciate it. Okay, guys.
Executive, just for the budget, what we might want to consider, we have 5/29, that's Memorial Day. We have that as a date for school presents budget. I don't know if that's.
They'll be here that day.
Keep that.
They didn't give us 300 grand, so they
Well,
must well take the day off.
that schedule that we'll get to, I think there's a little note in there. We can change that with 10-day
That was the
notice.
only date that Mike
So
kept
schedule. When Sherry and I laid that out there, we didn't really go over all the ins and outs, did we, Sherry? Thank you very much, Mr. Venero. Moving forward into new business, Resolution 780 is in your packet. It's the Food Insecurity Grant. This is pretty self-explanatory. This will go to help our food banks. Application has been made. The awards have not, but we have to apply. There is not a match with this. And anyway, but it's a no-brainer, so to speak. So I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution 780, the Food Insecurity Grant.
So moved.
Have a motion from Mr. Mackey.
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Venero. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Said Resolution 780 hereby passes. Moving next to the 2023 budget schedule. Now this is something that we do every year, and at the bottom it says changes to be announced 10 days prior. Meeting dates may be subject to change. That's plenty of notice. We do, if you will notice, we are going to pass the budget before July 1st this year. So that's not the law, but that's what the comptroller wants us to do. We get extra, I guess, bonus points if we do, however that works, 3-star points or whatever it is, Janice. But we're going to get that done this year. I'll entertain a motion to approve the budget schedule.
So moved.
Have a motion from Mr. Barger and have a second from Wayne Clemmons. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, hearing none, said budget schedule is set. Next we have up is the Resolution 781, the traffic control device request. Mr. Hudson, I asked that you bring this forward.
Well, there seems to be some confusion within Budget Committee about this resolution. It's not asking to fund this red light project. Sure, maybe it's TDOT to do, responsibility to do this. They have said no. They didn't check all the boxes that they require. Counties, or maybe the city's responsibility or part. I don't really care who pays for this or how it gets done, but it needs to be done. Voters care. I know 3 things voters care about. They care about jobs, they care about schools for their children, and those roads to get them to those jobs and schools. My district has a need. There's a safety issue down there. Sure, other districts might need red lights. I'm sure there's other districts that need red lights, but I'm aware of the one in mine. So I'm here to talk about this resolution. I see where you can see some confusion. But all it's asking is that as a unified body, we once again try the TDOT route. Ask them to fund this. More than likely, they're going to say no because it doesn't check all 9 of those boxes, okay? It does not. I think it checked 2. But in the future, it will check all 9 of those boxes. There's continued growth down there. There's a planned development, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, of 75 apartments down there near the ballpark, just off that road. You have sanitation, you have a bike lane down there. You got Highway 28 running north-south. You got turning lanes running north-south, and 3 exits from the convenience store. It's a problem. Somebody needs to fix it. If you guys vote no, that's fine. That's your choice. But maybe it'll bring some awareness. And that's simply all I'm trying to do. And we've seen fatalities down there. We've seen people get hurt down there. And I'm not saying it won't happen with the red light. I'm saying it might prevent future fatalities down there or someone getting hurt. If it prevents one, that's all that matters to me. I don't care about the politics. Frankly, I don't like the whole political game. Don't like it at all. I've been a part of it. Don't like it. I'm not playing politics for this bill, if that's what you think. That's not the case. I don't care about the funding, the money. We spend all this money on property, we should care about safety too. And it's part of our infrastructure. Future growth, development. City wants to work with us, that'd be wonderful. TDOT wants to work with us, great. If they don't, let's see what we can do on our own. At least we're showing the public that we're doing something. And that's all I'm attempting to do. If you're not happy with this resolution, I can reword it, work with the county attorney, we'll do that, and I'll make a motion to table it. If you're not happy with it, it's fine with me.
Let me say this, Michael, and you and I talked about this. I asked you to write the resolution at the last meeting. You've done what you said you do. I did get it a little late. I couldn't review it and have really
Well, that
time
was
to
probably
review
my
it.
fault too. I should have got it to him a day or two earlier.
So
That's
it's
probably my
not
fault.
totally, on you. So let me say this, and I have, without breaking any sunshine laws, I have spoke to most of the commission. I think this is, I recommend that we tweak it a little bit with the verbiage. You're very right on point. Nobody's against safety. Everybody's for lives of young children. I know there's a group of folks in this room tonight that have lost children. That's not a club you want to be a part of. Everybody's on board with that. I feel your heart. I feel, I rode to Nashville or Manchester with Ed the other day. He certainly is vehement for this. But I think there's some language that we need to clean up, and I think you can still spearhead this, but work with a little bit language, a little further language with, we will include the city. We don't want to do a resolution, I think, that the city, us, everybody passes. We certainly want you to oversight that, but there are some problems that's been pointed out to me in this resolution that they're concerns. I don't, it may be a hang up for somebody else. We want to do something that's successful. It's my recommendation that we table this. That's only what I can do. I can't vote here, but as chairman of this commission, I can certainly recommend that we table it and get something that's perfected, that it's unanimous. I think everybody's heart's the same, and respectfully, I ask you to do that. So.
Sure, and can I ask, and I want to debate or argue, but what's the concerns about the resolution? And is the road supervisor here? May I ask him a question?
Well, that's a state road, isn't it?
Well, it's my understanding, I could be wrong, but a municipality can move forward if there's a memorandum of understanding and it goes by TDOT's guidelines, and there has to be an engineering study and what have you, and that's where cost does come in. And I don't mind tweaking the resolution. I just know something needs to be done. Even if this body does not vote for it, at least it'll open up debate and it'll show the public we're trying to do something.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll get somebody's attention, because I can guarantee you, within the next 4 years, it's going to check every box on that TDOT list. If the growth continues to happen, there will be more. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Mr. Chairman, do we need to get a motion and a second for discussion on this?
Well, we do, but I wanted to go at it this angle. That's my purview to do this. So,
okay.
Without having a motion second, I'm just respectfully asking that.
Yes. And I don't have a problem with that. And I'll make a motion to table it, and I just hope I brought some awareness to this. And I want to see this voted on up and down, yes or no. At least it'll bring some awareness. And like I said, it will check those 9 boxes in the future. I just want to have a good conscience about this, because I know there will be issues down there in the future.
We have a motion on the floor from Mr. Hudson. Do I hear a second to table this resolution?
Second.
Have a second from Tom Bonero. Any further questions and or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of tabling, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Resolution hereby stands tabled. Okay, county roads is up next. We've already handled that. Anything else with county roads? Hearing none. The county executive to address the commission. I'm not doing that tonight. Y'all have already sang me happy birthday. I appreciate that. How about any announcements? We've got Valley Fest, several things coming up. Madam Clerk, what about notaries?
I don't normally present a list of
Yeah, long
numbers,
list.
but tonight we have 16 to approve.
We vote on them individually.
Read us the bill of fare.
What?
We vote on them individually, all 16.
No.
Roll call.
I'm old enough. Oh, here we go, guys. 16 of them. Christina F. Smith, Kirsten Whaley, Carol Ducker, Donna M. Walker, Jonathan P. Green, Eric G. Reed, Karen R. Reed, Gregory K. Johnson, Lana J. Waters, Ramona Lynn Harmon, Christina B. Griffith, Brittany C. Farley, Jessica Parton, Shannon D. Crawford, Charlotte Kane, and Missy Ackerman.
Motion to approve. Have a motion from Jim Lewis, second from J Mac. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, hearing none. Said notaries hereby pass. Did we leave anything out? Any comments from the respective commissioners? Thank you, Bledsoe, BTC Fiber. Ethan, I appreciate you being here and representing. You guys have a safe and blessed night. We stand adjourned.
Thank you.